MongoDB can target any company that has developers. But like the key for us is not like who do we target, but who do we target first? And so this idea that prioritizing your sales and marketing efforts is so important became pervasive in everything that we do. And so our platform helped MongoDB become much better at targeting, prioritizing accounts in any given moment, not just once a year or a quarter, but like dynamically every week, every day. Like all the reps know what are the accounts that are most valuable. And what prevents companies from doing this is that they are drowning in data. If you think about like the enterprise of today, they obviously have a CRM. They buy data from many different data sources. They have their own data. They have like data from LinkedIn, maybe that they want, or like, some customers told us like, oh, I want data from Google Maps because a lot of my customers are smaller companies that live there, or Crunchbase, or you name it. But the more data, the more complex the cleaning, orchestrating, and structuring all of this data for your ICP, which is different than mine and is different than the next customer. And so orchestrating this data around like your ICP becomes very important. And that's where our platform comes in and solves a lot of these problems. So our platform is essentially a workflow builder. And so let me give you an example of like an account profiling workflow that we deploy for one of our customers. The workflows, imagine them as they are like, a little bit like a Figma that like, where like the boxes here are data modules. So they generate or process data. And so like this one is like an import module from Salesforce. But then what it does is that like for each target account, it maps all of the attributes that you, for your ICP, care about. In this case, this company, customer of ours, cares about like not just demographics, but also like really detailed,
They care about a lot.
interesting data points. Exactly. This is an HR platform called Remote. And so they care about like where people have offices or where not, what are the job postings, in which sub industry or industry, and so forth. And so we map all of this, and then like we deploy, and like this is a like a low code platform that we develop, like so you can plug in like formulas, API, code, you can plug any data source that you have access to or data sources that you want us to have access to, and AI modules. And then what we do is that like through this layering of like code or formulas or data sources, we start enriching the account. In the process, we clean the data, we normalize it, we synthesize it, we segment it, we do the territory mapping, which for many companies is a huge, huge headache. And like we solve for that with AI so that like each account in each region has like the right data for that region. And then maybe we consolidate industry data or sub-industry. And then if, we make sure that we have like the target company website data fully updated, like the career page, the about us. And then maybe we plug like Crunchbase data to improve like the understanding of revenue, investors, and so forth. And so at the end of this process, we have all of the data around all of the attributes that we looked at before that you need in order to decide, is this a good target or no? How well or how high it scores in my mapping of the ICP. And then once all of that's done, we can export it back to wherever it needs to be exported, like, in my CRM or like in, data lake or wherever it needs to live. And what's interesting and what's like, it's now like the sort of the next iteration of the platform is that while like we used to have like customer ops people that were like customizing and deploying the workflows, we now have increasingly agents, AI agents that like not only can go and find data that it's required for the workflow, but can define the steps in the workflow that can be added. And so this is a silly example that I just typed, like, so how many employees does MongoDB have? It gives me the answer, the reasoning, the steps, and the data sources. And these are modules that I can now add to the workflow. And so by adding them to the workflow, I generate like additional insights, not just about profiles, but maybe activity And this is what we're doing for customers so that dynamically they are now able to understand every time, not just once a year, what are my targets? Are they more propense to buy or not? And like, who should I give to the best reps at any given time?